Hey everyone, it's Kathleen. I wanted to take a minute to talk you through meal planning and prep for the week ahead. So, first things first, when you go shopping, there are a couple things that if you have extra time on the weekend that you might want to do to get ready. The first one is to sit down and either use something like this, a paper and pencil method, or there are some great apps as well to help you plan ahead. So, we talked through some of the dinner recipes, but I'm going to talk you through some of the other recipes as well. And then once you go shopping, what I suggest is that if you have the time to do some prep work on Saturday or Sunday, to go for it. So by prep work, I mean doing cutting up and cleaning vegetables and fruit so that it's ready to go. Pre-packaging or pre-portioning some of the food items is also incredibly helpful during the week. And then the one thing I would say to do ahead of time, if you have the time, is the sauce. That the sauce that I put in there, grandma sauce, is actually used for at least two of the recipes. And if you want, you can use it for another because there will be some left over. You can either put it on pasta yourself, or I can give you one last recipe for tomato soup if you like it, which also uses grandma sauce. So having said that, this is kind of how I think through. So I looked at my schedule for the week ahead, and my boys have some games this week, and we have some other activities on a couple of the nights, and then we actually have one free night. So yippee for that! And I tried to kind of plan the meals around that a little bit. So I tried to put the easiest, least amount of work on the days that we, of course, have the least amount of time. So the key to meal planning is, and the key to eating and clean eating is that you eat more often in smaller quantities. So you eat. I actually really prefer this way of eating. It's kind of in my nature to eat this way. I know not everybody feels that way, but I love snacking, so this is kind of ideal for me. So the idea is to eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. So it turns out that infants actually have that right, and that's the way that our bodies are set up, so that our metabolism keeps working throughout the day, and it doesn't think that we're starving ourselves, and also so we don't binge eat or something like that. Um, so breakfast is supposed to happen within an hour of rising. So in addition to drinking lots of water, which is not included on this paper, but something hopefully everybody's doing, in addition to drinking water in the morning, you should have breakfast within an hour of rising, and it's super important to have a protein at breakfast. So my favorite breakfast is Shakeology, and it's a super dense, if you haven't heard of it, super dense, nutrient-rich drink that you can make in as little as 30 seconds, 2 minutes if you're going to put some add-ins like I do. And it's got a wonderful balance of carbohydrates and proteins. And it's actually can replace a multivitamin because it's got so many nutrients in it with antioxidants and probiotics and prebiotics. It's really the healthiest meal you can get. And I like to drink chocolate Shakeology with half a banana, a tablespoon of peanut butter, almond milk, ice, put it in the blender. It's ready to go. And it can go with me on mornings that I'm crazy. I also sometimes have it for lunch because there are 2 days during the week where I go right from one thing, picking up one child to taking the other child to a class. So I do that in the morning. Sometimes I also do plain Greek yogurt, which is a great source of protein, with some berries and organic granola on top. The breakfast for dinner recipes could also be used in the morning as well. So just make sure you're eating breakfast and you're adding some kind of protein into your breakfast. The next one is to have a snack about 2.5 or 3 hours later. And I actually do try and wait until then because I tend to want to eat a lot. And that would be the key to snacking, or any meal for that matter, is to pair a complex carbohydrate, meaning a fruit or vegetable or whole grain, with a lean protein or a healthy fat. And yes, there are healthy fats. Those would be the things like nuts, nut butters, hummus is another good one, and some cheese. So I wouldn't overdose on cheese. That's not actually considered clean, but it's certainly cleaner than some other options. So you can see there for snacks would be like an apple and some almonds, pre-measured, so you don't overdose on those. At least that's the case for me sometimes. And even fruits and vegetables, pre-measuring them is really important, so you at least have an idea and an awareness of how much you're eating, and you stick to the right portion. So a cup of grapes and one cheese stick, and I just kind of alternate those because I enjoy those snacks. Lunch, you want to again pair lean protein with complex carbohydrates, fruits and vegetables. So you can have a salad with chicken. Again, as I said before, Shakeology is a great one. It's so quick and easy. There's a tomato soup that you could do with the sauce, the grandma sauce that we talked about. I can give you the recipe for that if you're interested. And then a snack mid-afternoon, so 2.5 or 3 hours later. And again, you want to pair complex carb with lean protein or healthy fats. So veggies and hummus or celery and peanut butter are good options. And then we have the recipes that I gave you for dinners this week. And then there's an optional snack in the evening. And I tend to work out in the evening, so I definitely get hungry and need an extra snack. And I also tend to stay up a little bit later. If you're an early to bed person, I might suggest skipping the snack because you certainly don't want to eat right before bed. Kind of what they say is to eat 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed. So depending on your bedtime, you might want to just skip that snack altogether. Or if you didn't work out but you're a little bit hungry, you might want to add an extra protein in, would be a good idea for a snack. Or something like popcorn, I think would be good as well. So that's kind of meal planning in a nutshell. Post your questions below, and I can't wait to present you with the next challenge tomorrow. Thanks.